come garden with me today. So I just worked out and had my smoothie, and I thought I was gonna be ready, but it is really hot outside. So I'm gonna have one more cup with one more vitamin C drink. Side note, I am not a pro gardener. I just learned through YouTube, so I don't know, use your own judgment. If you're gonna take my advice, it's just a bunch of videos that I watched, and I will hope that will work out for my plants. So I spent some time boiling these water so that I can pour it on the soil, and hopefully it'll kill the whatever is living in the soil. Recently bought myself this large potting soil, and I'm gonna put some in that pot before I go pour water in it. Okay, that's good. So 2 days ago, my sister had given me this pot. Nice, cute little pot. I'm gonna plant a succulent in it, so I will wash this first. Then I learned from this orchid girl to spray it with hydrogen peroxide to disinfect it fully before putting it in the soil. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll wash just plain dish soap and water, and then you literally just spray the inside. Probably gotta refill it more, but oh, there it goes. And then you just let it air dry. That's really it. Heading back outside. So why did I put hot water in the soil? In the winter time, I had a fly infestation in the house, and some of these plants I'm replanting today will be brought back in the house. Oops, knocked over by the rain. I think it's gonna rain today. Gotta work fast. Anyway, so it's gonna prevent those annoying flies from building in the soil. Well, at least I hope it will. So my soil is ready, and these are my projects of the day. My friend had given me this as a present. They will be used in front of the house as decor, so I probably won't need to put hot water for the soil for these guys. In the winter time, I was throwing out succulents that were dying, and I put the soil on the patch of ground here that doesn't have grass in it, and the succulent grew through adversity, so I gotta take them out of the grass. Okay, so I'm gonna begin. So I took this out of the pot, and a tip I learned is that you remove all the soil that's attached to the roots, then you wash off the roots, and then to prevent, well, you cut off these dead parts with a sterilized scissor, then spray them again with a hydrogen peroxide before replanting, so that you kill off any of those white bugs. See, a few days ago I saw white bugs crawling on the soil, so I will be doing that after I take off the clumps from here and wash it. It's really easy to sterilize a scissor. You just turn up the heat and then put the blades on there for a small bit. So when you wash the roots and the soil off of it, you could see what you're working with. So mostly this plant is pretty healthy. I just gotta take off what is not alive anymore. And then again, after that step, I will spray it with hydrogen peroxide. The soil, I mean the roots only. A tip I learned from the orchid girl is that brown roots don't necessarily mean that it's a dead root. You really have to feel it, and if it's firm, see, try to feel a healthy root. It'll feel firm. And this feels the same pretty much as that one, so I'm going to keep it. Okay, I have cut everything I wanted, so it's time to spray the roots. Where the anthurium will be placed in, I have some work to do. Gotta take out this dead succulent. Yep. The plastic pot with the drainage holes that originally came with the anthurium is way too small for the size of the anthurium now. So to save money, I'm gonna makeshift my own plastic pot with drainage holes. It's really simple. So you take whatever metal that you really don't mind ruining, because see, I've used it before. You just heat it up like I showed you earlier, and then you put the heated metal onto the plastic, making lines down all the way around and on the bottom of the pot. It's quite a lengthy process to do this, so I don't think I'm going to record this part, but I'll show you the end product. By the way, this is how my pot looks before. See, no holes at all. That didn't take a long time actually. I just had to put holes in the bottom. I thought I had to do what I had to do for my orchids, which is put lines all the way down and on the bottom. But for anthuriums, on Google I read that you only need drainage holes on the bottom. So that's good. So again, I'm going to wash this pot because it's dirty, and it's just regular dish soap and water. My boy's doing an interview. It sounds like he's saying though. I'm taking a drink break and a snack break because I need something. So I'm going to drink my energy caffeinated beverage tube. I'll just take her advice and spray everything. Now this is already washed, so I'm going to let it air dry too. Just going to spray the inside to disinfect it all. And then I'll come back to that. And that's really it. Gonna put some soil in here now. Okay, so my soil that I put hot water in earlier is cooled off. We'll literally fill this pot with soil and stick her in. Then carefully put more. What's nice that the soil is moist is that the plant is then pre-watered and pre-soaked really. So I'm not going to pre-moistened, I think, is the actual word. I'm not going to water this. Okay. One done. That took longer than expected. So next one, gonna repot these, and then this little guy, gotta take him off the ground. But I don't think I'd have to wash the roots. They look pretty healthy to me. Minus, of course, this guy, and then these, the ones that look sick and or dead. I'm not gonna save. Okay, I don't think I'll take a video of this process because it's literally the same thing. I'll just show the end product. The old pot for the anthurium is really cute, so I washed it, and that's where I'm gonna put the succulents in, the healthy ones anyway. And this one with the drainage hole seems like a good size for the big guy. This one will go to my sister. That one will go in the same pot as this guy. What I learned about succulents is that they will destroy their bottom leaves first. So for this part, I'll remove the extra dirt, I'll remove the dead leaves from it, and then wash it. And then I'll also just spray them just for preventative measures. Otherwise, he's really healthy. And I really didn't have any luck with propagation in the wintertime when I first took care of these succulents. Well, when they first came into my possession. So I will just leave this here and see if they'll propagate naturally, because nature took care of the other one. So if they do grow healthier or grow up, maybe this little guy, I will come and save them. When I had a fly infestation in the winter, and these fungus that was growing on the soil, I put the cinnamon in all my plants to help prevent that, but I didn't know that it would dry out the soil so much. Good thing these are resilient enough and they stayed alive. I mean, I guess I underwatered too, just looking at it. So here they all are, all laid out. I have to be really careful because I watched in a video that succulents don't like getting their leaves moist. You have to just water the roots. So I have to do that, and I will remove like areas that are dead like this before I replant them. So what I learned about succulents is that you could remove the bottom leaves to see what you're working with. I had to remove a lot of this guy, but because of it, I cleaned off a lot of dead parts of it. Still have these left to do. So ideally, when you take off the dead parts, you should sterilize your scissor in between each plant. Okay, just showing you what a dead root looks like. See, it has like no healthy roots. You could see it's really hollow and it doesn't have that squishy feeling. So you take this as a healthy root. It's firm. And then another side note, if you pull off a leaf, if you're gonna propagate it, I learned that it has to be perfect, I mean, like this. Oh, yes, that's not as perfect, but like this. Because if it's super broken with jagged edge like this one, it will have no chance in propagating. Again, I'm not an expert propagator nor an expert planter, but these are some tips that I've learned from watching videos. And from all that matted mess, it had some healthy roots underneath. And that's it. I had removed all the dead parts for the succulents. I just gotta put them in pots. Oh, it's blurry. Thought I was ready to plant, but this needs drainage holes. These two pots are all clean and sprayed, so they're ready to go. And then the succulents will be done. Ta-da! I changed my mind. I found this pot in the garage, and I think it will look cute with the anthurium. So I'm just gotta wash it and clean it, and this is where it'll be planted. While I'm inside, I watered my orchids chips. On May the 13th, I replanted them both in New Zealand bark. So they have to be watered every other day, said the orchid girl. Finally planted in the plastic pots. And the succulents are done. This one will be gifted to my sister on her birthday in July 23rd. Maybe earlier. We'll see when I see her again next. With the pandemic and all. So I'll plant those flowers that my friend gave me earlier so I can put them there. It'll be a nice decor for the front of the house. Other things to do, I gotta trim my roses ×2, maybe add a little soil, and definitely need to water them. And lastly, again, I was putting away pots that I found that are not really being used, and I flipped this over and found these. I joined a plant group and I was advised that there are leeks. Some thought they were daisies, but they said that you just replot it and see what happens, but I really think they're leeks. They don't smell like onions. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to give them a chance to grow. I know. I hope I can save them. I have to ask my fiance's mom what these are, because this was once hers. Okay. I just remembered, gotta water my tomato seeds here. Or is this a tomato? Anyway, one's tomato and one's spinach. Nothing's growing yet, but it's only been like 2 weeks. I started at 1. It's already 5. Anyway, my phone is dying, so I will charge my phone, then show the end results. I am done. Remember those plants I could identify? Well, these look all related, so it's right there in the center. The front of the house is decorated with this. This will go to the altar where my grandparents and former dog's picture is. The basil, and then here is this trio. Oops. That I was laying plants earlier on. My roses will be on the right side of the garage, and my meditation spot in the morning is lined with flowers. That's where I put my foot up close. Never in my 27 years of life have I ever spent 6 hours gardening. First for everything.